Good morning, good morning, good morning. Good morning, Grace. So many of you have asked, what is seed milk and how do you make it? So today, we're gonna make seed milk.
To begin, you want to make sure that you start with plastic containers, and we like to have special containers set aside just for our seeds. So the type of seeds that we use are flax, these are all raw, sesame, sunflower, and the last one is pumpkin. Now, if you're only going to prepare a single portion, you would use 1.5 teaspoons. But I'm going to do a double portion because both my husband and I both take seed milk. So I'm going to do 3 teaspoons, heaping. That's the flax. Next we have the sesame. And last but not least, the sunflower. The sunflower I like to use in a little larger container just because when you go to agitate it, the holes will come off and that leaves more room. And 3. Okay, so we have our 4 seeds. Once again, if you're making a single portion, that's 1.5 teaspoons. Or if you're making a double portion, that's 3. We're using distilled water. Why not use tap water? Tap water has a lot of other ingredients that we don't necessarily want. So we want to keep this pure, raw. So we're using distilled water, clean water. So we're going to fill it up just enough to cover the seeds. With the flax, I do a little more because it's going to create a flaxseed oil. The sunflower, I do a little bit more. And then the pumpkin. So we're going to put lids on this. The seed should soak for a minimum of 12 hours, but it's better if it's 24 hours. This starts the germination process and the enzymes, they start to come alive, and that's what our bodies need, our enzyme, which help to fight off a lot of infectious diseases. It helps to break our food down, so enzymes are very important. So we're going to take these and put them in the refrigerator, and then we'll start the second process.
We are going to take our seeds. We have our sesame, our pumpkin, flax, and sunflower. And after soaking them for 24 hours, we're going to rinse them. So we're going to start with the sesame. You just put enough water over them so that they can absorb the water. And we use fresh, pure water. We use distilled water. You don't want all the chemicals that are found in tap water. We take our spoon, we smash out the extra water, and we put it in our Vitamixer. You may use the new NutriBullet that's really fast. You don't want to use just a regular blender because you want it to pulverize the seeds. The only ones we don't rinse are the flax because you want it to have that flaxseed oil. See how it's nice and thick? So we want to put all of that in there. Once again, we put just enough water over them to cover them. And you always want to have a clean space. So we only use the strainer for seeds because you don't want to contaminate it with other particles. This is all raw, so you have to be very careful about your utensils. So we rinse our sunflower seeds, making sure most of the holes are off into our seed milk. Now once again, we're making portions for 2 for both I and my husband, both drink seed milk. Next, we're going to add our water. We used distilled water. And for 2 portions, we're going to fill it to about right there. And we have our cups that we use so we know about how much water to put in there. We also add to chromium, which is a natural fat burner, some stevia, and enzymes. Enzymes are used to break down your food. So I put 1 per person. Then we're going to add frozen banana. The frozen banana, it adds texture, sweetness, it more like a smoothie, along with potassium, which is great for our body. With the frozen bananas, you want to cut them in smaller pieces so that it doesn't come out chunky, which makes them sweeter, and that'll make your seed milk sweeter as well. Pretty much stick to the recipe instead of adding a bunch of things, because the advantage of seed milk is that it gives your body all the nutrition that it needs for the day. Our ice too is made with the distilled water. I'm going to add about 4 ice cubes. Check and make sure it's on well. What you want to look for is that the seeds have been very pulverized, very blended. Seed milk is only good for 20 minutes, so it's not something you can make ahead of time and just save for the day. So you want to take part of it right away. And that's how you make seed milk.